Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
What about our Quasar podcast?
Wendell Vaughn, the first Earthman ever appointed protector of the universe. Bonded to the energy-transforming quantum bands that are both weapons and symbols of his station, he fights an ongoing battle to defend all life in the universe from cosmic evil as Quasar. Wow, that last guy sounded really young. Welcome back to the Marvel Tales, kids. I almost said Quantum Zone. Marvel Tales, kids. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, once again, Maelstrom himself. It is.
That's right. Justin the L, chopping off some hands and taking names.
And of course, yes, part 2 of Cosmos and Collision, so Mr. Will Allred is back.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome, Will.
And again, if you can't get enough of Mr. Will Allred, remember, you can catch him with myself on Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast. Oh yeah, guys, keep a lookout. I was working on it today. I was using some AI on Canva. Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks may be getting some new logos.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. We've had the same logo since 2017. I've been thinking about doing new ones, and then Lilith said something about the same idea this morning, so I was like, God damn it, that's my song. She's my enabler. If I have a crazy idea. If she relates it, I'm like, oh, that's the universe telling me to do it.
I love it.
All right, so should we just jump into Cosmos? Should we jump into these last 4? Because there's a lot here, especially a oversized last one.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, but before we get into 22, I have to show off. This is the issue that Will Macona got me that's signed by inker Keith Williams. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have one of those as well. Yeah, it's awesome.
I know.
Very cool.
Because the thing that caught me was like, man, I already have this issue. I'm like, I should slab this since it's signed. But like, I think it was Matt who said is like, I guess they don't like when they grade them, they don't count the signature unless they're there to like witness it. I'm like,
witness it. Oh yeah.
I'm like, how many signatures can they actually witness? I'm like,
yeah.
Unless they just wait and try to get Capullo's signature on it.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
I know. Gotta say, I can't get Grunwald. Maybe Capullo gets Capullo. Oh man, can you imagine? Capullo would probably be impressed with that because everyone's probably like, "Here, sign my Batman or sign my Spawn," or you know.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Nice. Flip him a Quasar.
I bet he loves that. Yeah.
Oh, that's the interview we need. Capullo, man. Of course, we're gonna talk Spawn and Batman, but I'm like, let's talk about some Quasar. Can't be like nobody has to be about Quasar. Well, sir.
Yeah, no kidding.
See if you can talk to Janice Chiang. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the inkers don't get the love when people are asking for interviews.
Yeah. The letterers.
Can you imagine just go after all the inkers? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But okay. But yes. Yeah. Maybe I'll try for Capullo.
Batman, my favorite character.
I am contractually obligated to hit that button at least once an episode.
Yeah.
And by contractually obligated, I mean Lilith will kill me. All right. Wait, what are you talking about, Noel? Then the shutter falls. You see it's all in 3D. It's your favorite foreign movie. What? Lay off the booze, kid.
Well, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Ah, true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh man, we have a big drinker at work, and his first name is Patrick. I mean, he goes by Pat. I'm like, it's your favorite holiday, and they named it after you.
Nice.
All right. So let's get back into this Cosmos and Collision, because remember, Quasar's dead.
Not yet.
Well, it looks that way.
Kind of, sorta, yeah.
It looks that way.
It was the appearance.
Mostly dead all day.
Yes. All right, so we're picking up at Quasar number 22. And again, all the information I'm reading here can be found on quantumzone.org. Go visit it.
The definitive Quasar resource.
There's image galleries. There's, again, the information on the issues I'm reading. There's all kinds of fun stuff. All right. Quasar number 22, Cosmos and Collision, part 4 of 7, A Long Day's Journey into Death. May 1991, writer Mark Grunwald, penciler Greg Capullo, inker Keith Williams, letterer Janice Jiang, colorist Paul Beckton, and editors Len Kaminsky is the managing editor, Howard Mackey group editor, and Tom DeFalco editor-in-chief. And again, cover price $1.
Nice.
Glory days.
Yes. All right. Barely alive and hanging from a wall, Quasar has visions of Captain Marvel and his father, Maelstrom studies the quantum bands with the help of the Weird Sisters. Finally, Quasar dies. Man, what masochist wrote this? Finally, Quasar dies.
I didn't protect anybody from that spoiler, did I?
No. All right. Yeah, this
I love this splash here. You know, with the Watcher's little house on that asteroid that we're seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's beautiful.
Classic Marvel stuff.
Just like Maelstrom looking over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is Grunwald, bringing back past elements of things he's done, because he's, Maelstrom's talking to the Death Urge, and he's basically telling him, go tell the first Watcher about put that thought into his head so he drops over dead, and then they'll all start dropping over dead,
Yep.
So they can't
the
watch
Oblivion
us.
Plague.
Right.
Which was another plot point from Journey in the Mystery. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
And they reference their first confrontation in issue number 2.
Mm-hmm.
When Death Urge says, "The next time that you see me, you'll beg me to kill you," and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, the Grunwald, showing, or at least, if not pretending really good, that he's had this thing plotted out since the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then look at that splash of Quasar hanging, in the archway there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just beautiful.
It's so funny because it's so funny because it's like, it looks like, it's been cleaned up since dinner, but he's still just like hanging there, armless on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a piece of decoration now.
Mm-hmm. Just thinking about how he's failed. Maelstrom has the quantum bands. And his friends, and now he's just hanging up there with no arms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For all I know is I've
awful pain.
Yeah, he's like, all I know is I've doomed my friends. Eon's doomed. The world's doomed. For all I know, the whole universe is doomed. Doubt any protector of the universe has ever screwed up so badly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's thinking. Wow, come on, Death. What are you waiting for? Which was when Death Urge shows up.
Perfect timing.
You rang.
And again, I think we mentioned this before, Will, but I mean, Death Urge, of course, is probably going to be a reference to the Black Racer over at DC.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Exactly.
That's what I always took him to be.
And I love he comes through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And Quasar's hanging like this, and he's just walking at a different, he's just walking up the wall.
Mm.
I thought it was an interesting way to...
Yeah, almost like a Spider-Man. Yeah, just like walking up the wall, and
very casually, though.
Kind of crouches next to his head,
Yep.
Yeah, and like Justin said, he's like, remember last time I told you next time I saw you, begged me to kill you, and Quasar says, kill me. If it'll end my suffering, terminate my consciousness. Take me, Death Urge. I'm a foul up. I'm an embarrassment. Blah blah blah. And then the Death Urge says, "Oh, you forget the second part of what I told you. I told you you'd beg, and I told you I'd refuse."
Yep.
He takes off, and that's when Quasar's like, what good are you? Come back, do your job."
And this issue as a whole, I mean, it's very dark.
Oh yeah,
because
it's
gone from really really bad to even worse. I mean, he wants to die because he feels like he's screwed everything up.
Oh yeah, he pretty much is like, the universe is probably dead, so just kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he feels like the ultimate failure.
But then we get this Captain Marvel shows up, Marvel.
Yes,
right?
The Ghost of Christmas Past. Yes.
Yeah,
and talks to him, and and then I love the last thing he says. My time's up. Farewell, brother. That always, because they're brothers in arms, essentially.
Yes,
sorry,
symbolically.
Bad joke, but symbolically.
Yeah. Right.
And even just the whole, Marvel, earlier, an Incredible Simulation tells him, he's like, at least you like died in battle. He's like, I died in bed, from cancer.
From cancer, yeah.
Which Justin and I did cover in episode 50. Yeah, the whole
right.
Death of Captain Marvel thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, then we get the reveal of HD finally.
Oh yes,
Right.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I liked that.
As Maelstrom's playing with Quasar's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giving him a high five.
Stop slapping yourself. Stop slapping yourself.
Yeah.
But yes, another reveal, because HD reveals to Ken and Kayla that she is Moondragon.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that. I'm a big fan of the Moondragon character.
Yes.
And so I knew at some point she became a part of the Quasar supporting cast in the book, because I remember seeing her show up later on.
And I do like the little detail when they do that flashback panel of, that Avengers meeting, and it's like, they remember to put him in this costume now because retroactively that's the costume he had.
Right, yeah.
And that's how she remembers it. So.
Yep.
And I love, she was like, I was once passed over for being the celestial Madonna, and Kayla, what about Madonna?
What about Madonna? That was funny.
Again, Kayla, she was, nice, but not the brightest ball.
Yeah. That part was great.
So, yes, that's when she lays out. So, this is when we first find out, Will, that, yes, she's all about being with Quasar,
I wonder why, Makari and Kayla got together. No.
Think it's this roofie in the black wig here?
I think so.
Maybe.
And then the whole, that's why she took on this secret identity of H.D. Steckley, and they were, she's like, I'll bring in 5 new clients, which was easy with her telepathic powers.
Right.
And that's why then she went to see Eon. She basically wanted his blessing to be with Quasar. But Eon gave her a task, to protect Ken and Kayla from harm. Eon agreed not to tell Quasar who I really was if I would perform a task for him to protect your minds from harm.
Because that's when we find out that Maelstrom is responsible for Quasar's father's death.
Oh yes, yep. Because that's what she
cerebral
said.
hemorrhage.
Because Eon knew, that Maelstrom killed his father.
Yeah.
Kayla, why would Stromberg want to do that? Why would we ever do to him?
Oh, sweet innocent Kayla.
Right now, but yes.
Oh yes.
Stromberg,
and then we get the ghost of Christmas present. I don't know.
Yes.
the recent present, or
the recent present,
or the not too distant present. Yeah, yes. The image of his father. Yeah,
and that's Grunwald. This book doesn't have a fight scene in it, right? It doesn't.
Unless you count the torture scene at the end. No, yeah.
Well, with the whip, yeah.
Yeah. So, what he's doing here is, he's always tried to measure up to Marvel, so he gets to talk to Marvel, and he gets to, Marvel's like, hey, we do the best we can. I'm dead.
Yeah, we're not.
Did Marvel even say, he's like, yeah, I'm dead, and Thanos is back for the second, third time, and pulling his crap again.
Right.
And so we get we get that emotional discussion between these two characters, and he lets go of some of that stuff, and then he gets to meet and talk to his father again, and he gets to finally release some of that. He talks about jealousy. He was jealous that his father was spending so much time with Eon, right?
I love Grunwald keeps it vague, because even the father's like, he's like, I don't know if I'm like a spirit, or I'm just a piece that Eon held on to, because
or
so much time together. Yeah.
Yeah, my presence here doesn't prove a thing, except that Eon is capable of creating lifelike energy simulacrum of me, and imbue it with what he remembers of my consciousness to be. Yeah, okay. He's covering his bases there. But we get a great talk between father and son here, and
Basically, the father, his father telling him, you did the best you could. And then Wendell's like, I can think of a few people. Like Captain America probably could have did better.
Yeah, well.
Not in this case.
I don't think. I know.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and let's mention it's around this point that Captain America is like out in the middle of the ocean somewhere, trying to call Quasar, but he's kind of dead.
Oh yes,
Superior stratagem, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then this gets really, really freaking dark. Okay, I mean,
the torture
really
scene.
dark. Yes.
Well, you mean after Maelstrom has his kind of like kinetic motion orgy there?
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Nailed that one.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what she said. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the torture scene. Yeah.
Yeah, and look at that. The second page of the torture scene. That is a 16-panel page, and Capullo pulls it off. I mean, that is amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
16 panels on that page.
It's brutal.
Yeah, because he tells Quasar to keep count, and Quasar every time he whips him, just says one, because he wants him to kill him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's some really dark humor. He goes 1, and he says it again. 2 comes after 1. Another indictment of the American educational system. It's really, really dark humor here.
Yes.
And then on the next page, we get. Go ahead, Phil.
What?
Who shows up on the next page?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, his own personal avatar of death, Kid Reaper. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, one of our personal favorites. I don't think is it this one or is it later on when he shows up again in 40, but also Matt Coda doing the live read of Kid Reaper every time.
See you later, bunkies. See you later,
I was going to
bunkies.
ask if Kid Reaper showed up again.
Issue 40.
Yeah, he does.
40.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
There's that panel. He says, "Just between you and me, Bunk, I think you were reading too many Harvey comics as a kid." Because he looks like a Harvey comic.
Yeah.
That's great.
So good.
But yeah, he's telling him, he's like, "You're still alive because you got one heck of a strong will to live, Bunky."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Okay, you really, honestly, truly want to die? I hope you." He goes, "I'll take that nod as a yes." The little wink. But then he hits him with that scythe right in the chest, and then
right in the chest.
We see,
Chuck.
Yep, inside Eon. Yeah, those hands fall out of the quantum bands, and Maelstrom's like, "Wait a minute, the quantum bands are off his hands. He must be dead. The bands are mine." And then this Moon Dragon screaming, "No!"
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
so
okay, Justin. The last page. Were you expecting that?
No,
in a
I
Quasar
book.
Shame
I should have looked at the date and been like, "Oh, of course."
I was just say, shame on you. It's 1991, and Wolverine and the Punisher were busy. So that's.
I thought, oh, okay, well, all right.
That's right, kids. A certain spirit is about to come looking for some vengeance.
That's right.
He happened to be
Justin.
in the neighborhood.
This issue, because this is really kind of, I feel like this is the emotional core of the everything right here. This issue.
Yeah.
This is not a typical Marvel comic, right? This is not.
No.
There's no battle in this. This is, what? How did you experience this? I mean, because you're reading it for the first time. What?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
It was definitely a gut punch. The whole scene, the whole torture scene, and where he's talking to Mar-Vell about how he feels like a failure and all this other stuff. He's just, this is the lowest point that I've ever seen the character of Wendell Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
And I had read his exploits for a few years pretty regularly back in the day. But going back and revisiting that time period of the character, yeah, this is the most despair that I'd ever seen him in. Yeah, and that was kind of tough to read, but I understood that it was a necessary point to show what came later, the redemption of his character. Although I don't feel like he really needed to be redeemed. I felt like all of the guilt that he felt was unnecessary, because who could possibly live up to the ideal of protector of the universe if you really wrap your head around that concept? And then think about how big of a place the universe actually is. There's no living creature that could possibly live up to that mountainous ideal. So I think that a lot of his guilt was kind of self-inflicted as part of just the human condition to constantly feel like we're inferior, like we're not good enough, and we can constantly improve ourselves.
And again, we're seeing in these prologues and all these issues, this was a very intricate plot. I mean, on a cosmic scale.
Absolutely. The stuff with Death Urge, the reference to the second issue, I wasn't expecting any of that stuff.
I mean, Maelstrom's taking out Watchers so no one sees this coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And he teamed with another abstract entity to bring down a really good thing that Wendell had done by
Quasar's detection net around the Earth. Yeah, so you can sneak in. Yeah.
I mean, and it just it's the sheer power and scale and intelligence of the forces arrayed against him. It's almost you can almost, it's inconceivable almost of what he's trying to fight, and yet he still fights, which is something that Marvell brings up. Hey, you're doing the best you can, and he constantly compares himself to Captain America. So he's that inferiority complex, right?
Yeah.
I think you've definitely hit on some of the really, really core parts, I think, of this issue. I mean, it is so brutal, and it's brutal on purpose, and Grunwald did that with a reason. Yeah. And we're about to see why.
That's right. And I think even though it was tough to read, I liked the torture scene the best, because even though Wendell knew that it would probably result in his death, he wasn't going to capitulate to this dude's demands and just be like, okay, yeah, I'll do what you say and I'll count each one. No, he's going to remain defiant to the last. And I love that. Yep. And I probably would have done the same thing if I was in his position. I'd be like, no, I'm going to have the last say here.
And he figures he wants to die, so it's like, let me piss this guy off, and maybe he'll just
exactly. Hurry it up a little bit. Yeah. So I liked that part the best, because it showed that he still had that defiant streak. Even though that he wanted to die, he still wasn't going to give in to his torturer's demands.
And then at the end, Kid Reaper's like, you still have such a will to live,
In spite of all that.
You've had your hands cut off. I mean, you've been whipped how many times, and you're still not dead. Yeah.
He just lost his dad, all this stuff. Yeah, he's at the most despair that he's ever felt, and still he has the will to live. Even though it's just a small spark, it's still there.
Yep, absolutely.
All right,
good stuff.
Ready for
Ghost Rider's showing up now.
Yeah, you have Ghost Rider. But I like that they saved that for the last panel. That was nice.
Again, they all did it in the '90s, but at least it seems kind of organic, because if there's any kind of innocent blood, this would really be calling out the Ghost Rider. It's like, oh yeah, this guy killed an innocent person. He killed the protector of the universe. This dude is really planning some bad stuff.
Yeah, right.
All right, so yes, Quasar 23, Cosmos in Collision, Part 5 of 7, The Stillness of the Earth. June 1991, same team. Ghost Rider tries to avenge Quasar's death and battles Death Urge, while Quasar finds himself still alive with an energy body. At Eon's request, Quasar kills him and gains cosmic awareness. Maelstrom, also with cosmic awareness, stops Earth's rotation. All right, and that's not even mentioning. Damn guy wrote this. Not even mentioning the prologue where we see when Maelstrom comes to the presence, and Red Guardian, while they're still on the Stranger's planet, says, "Oh hey, by the way, you're from Earth. Oh yeah, if you happen to escape the Stranger's the Stranger's world, you better hightail it back to Earth, because there's this cosmic entity named Eon who's gonna really kill the entire universe."
Yeah.
And look at that splash page. You have this looming shadow of Maelstrom.
Yes.
In the smoke that the Presence and Red Guardian see. As they're on this the remnants of their part in Stranger's world, right? This lab world. But yeah, that's so good. And then of course the grin. Maelstrom.
Oh
grin.
yeah, I was about to mention that.
Evil
Yeah,
grin
that
is
grin,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
As he's thinking all those thought bubbles, he's like, "Oh yeah, gullible fools."
So sinister.
Yep.
But then after that, when we flash to the present, oh man, that's that Ghost Rider splash page by
Flash.
Capullo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He does an awesome Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
There is a demon at the gate. At his gate. Yes. So then, of course, he breaches. Of course, Maelstrom's not there, but all his lackeys are there.
Mm-hmm.
The Weird Sisters, Helio, Lord of the Air.
Yeah. Make short work of them.
I love.
Yes.
Oh, I love when Phoebus is like, Phoebus is the all living things know fear, and I am the king of fear. And Ghost Rider just whips him with that chain and says, "Who said I was living?" As he comes face the skull with him, he's like, "Who said I was living?" Just
and then I love how they change. We get an internal monologue of Ghost Rider, and this is still really early. So I think these were all hand lettered, but they still gave him his own kind of caption style and everything, which I thought was just. It works perfectly.
Like the red flames over,
Yeah. I think Janice Chiang did the lettering in the Ghost Rider book too. So
cool.
I think she just kind of brought that over to this one. Yeah.
And that's when we get the start of that Ghost Rider Death Urge battle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who dares? I dare, little demon.
Yeah.
Little demon.
Yeah. Reading this for the first time, I mean, I'm a big fan of the 90s Ghost Rider, but even now I was like, oh, he's not going to do so well against Death Urge. Uh-oh.
I mean, they should have had him defeat Death Urge. I mean, again, Maelstrom's the big villain. You can leave him for Quasar, but oh my god, if Ghost Rider just would have taken out Death Urge, at least for a while.
Yep.
But then meanwhile, Maelstrom's just causing havoc inside Eon's body.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
See what I have on my wrist, you corpulent chronicosm.
Yeah.
How long did we say how long Eon's body was across? Or something like
I think it's in. Is it in this
miles?
I think it's in this issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember exactly how long, but it was
like millions of miles, I think, or something.
Yeah,
it was a couple million
yeah.
miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even Eon thinks this is the moment of his death, and now we see Ghost Rider battling Death Urge again. We see Wendell's kind of his consciousness is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's like, where am I? And Kid Reaper's still there. He's like, you're dead, Bunk. I killed you. You asked for it.
This kind of thing never happened to me before. That's what he says.
And right now, Quasar's like, oh, maybe this is Eon's doing because he did the whole thing with Captain Marvel
with his dad.
Yeah. Then he's like, here, Kid Reaper, hold my cape open, and kind of like uses it as a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see a great escape attempt by Moondragon and the others.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
The Weird Sisters tell him, get up here, bringing him out of the basement, and Moondragon can bring up 2 wine bottles and takes out 2 of the Weird Sisters. Yeah.
That was great.
That's something that Grunwald, I think, does really well. I mean, because, most people with, Moondragon, telepath, but he's like, she's like one of the foremost martial artists, certainly in the solar system, right?
Right. Yeah, she was, she was taught by the same people that taught Mantis, if I remember right, the priests of Pama.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so, she's no slouch.
Yeah, so she takes out 2 of the Weird Sisters, but she has to fight Truth, whose hands basically become swords. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I wonder if I am Truth because I cut away all these fallacies and facades and falsehoods, and I love. She's like, "You want truth, woman? My name is Moondragon. I am sometimes called Moondragon." And this is how the dragon whips its tail.
It just kicks her in the gut. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I love Moondragon.
So then Quasar and Kid Reaper show up inside Eon. I love Quas. The walls just sprouted a face. Oh, okay, here it is.
Is that supposed to happen?
Here it is, because Eon says Maelstrom's about 90,000 miles from here, at the base of my brain, and he's like 90,000. How big are you anyway, Eon? And he says 6.19 million miles across. Across.
Yes, that's it.
Across.
Yeah.
Man, when Eon
6.19 million miles.
When Eon hangs around the universe, he hangs around the universe.
That's exactly what he means.
Eon.
This is my true size. What you thought it was my body was simply a tiny pseudopod of myself that I extended into space.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, what am I supposed to do to protect you? I don't have my quantum bands. He says, your ethereal form possesses certain inherent capabilities. He's like, okay, what I got to do? Kill me. What? He said, you must kill me to prevent Maelstrom from completing the theft of my cosmic awareness. And I love, he's like, does death mean what it means for your kind, mean what it does for my kind? And Eon, I do not know. I've never died before.
That's a good question.
And he says, it doesn't matter. It's the only way to stop Maelstrom. And then Quasar's like, it matters to me. What if, right now he still believes, Eon's responsible for him being in this energy form. He's like, if I kill him, am I going to go too?
Yeah.
But he's like, he still decides to do it. He says, okay, Kid Reaper, you got to do three things for me.
Yep.
Yeah, first, make sure I'm really dead this time so Maelstrom can't use me in any way. Second, check on my friends, help them get away. He's like, and third, tell the Avengers about Maelstrom so they can kick his butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Bucky, I promise.
And then the splash page.
Oh, with
Oh my
Maelstrom.
gosh.
Yeah.
Maelstrom, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, this isn't what inspired this drop, but I think I gotta play the drop.
Sparkly quantum tentacles.
Yeah, that is an amazing page.
Oh yeah,
that's some exquisite artwork.
Just the detail in that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
you can
absolutely.
tell he spent a long time on that. It was amazing.
Then Quasar and Kid Reaper show up, and then Eon says, "Here, strike here, and I will suffer instantaneous brain death." And then Maelstrom sees Quasar, tries to blast him, but the blast goes right through. Up yours, Maelstrom! And then he says, okay, this is it. Okay, nothingness, here I come. And Quasar blasts Eon in the brain.
Yep. Lights out.
And then back
which is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said that the cosmic assassin, the person that's going to kill him, is going to manifest on Earth. Quasar's the one that kills him.
Oh, yeah.
Quasar is the assassin. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Ghost Rider has several dozen black arrows and stuff sticking out of it.
Yeah.
And an axe in his head.
An axe, yeah. Undeterred.
I love he tries to give him the penance stare, and Death Urge is like, your gaze does not frighten me, little demon.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
But I find your tenacity tiresome. In your own way, you serve Oblivion too. We shall meet again, as he takes off through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get
the great page.
Almost a splash page area. Yeah, Ghost Rider just picking up Quasar's body off the wall.
That is tremendous. I love that.
How can I avenge his death when his killer is nowhere to be found? I cannot. I can only remove his lifeless body from its place of torment. May you yet be avenged, Cape Man. Yeah, because he doesn't even know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then back in Eon, Quasar's still there. He's like, I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Did I fail? Was Eon not dead? And Maelstrom, no, you killed him, you unmitigated fool. You killed your own mentor. You put a hole right through his brain.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There's a big crater where his brain used to be.
Looks like a stadium-sized hole. Yeah, it's just
several miles across.
And Quasar's just like, wait, so Eon wasn't animating me. So he's like, so who was? But then he's like, wait, what's happening now? And Maelstrom's like, you have the secret of cosmic awareness. What was his plan? Do you have him kill him so he can pass the secret on to you? Then we see Quasar just go, I understand so much now. I see everything.
And Maelstrom's trying to choke him and just going right through his...
He's like, no, Maelstrom, in this form, there's nothing you can do to me anymore. Then Maelstrom kind of quantum jumps out. And I love Kid Reaper. This place is starting to get ripe. What say we spray him?
I bet it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet that stench was considerable.
And Quasar says, all right, I know where Maelstrom went. I know anything I put my mind to. And that's when we back in real space, 50 million miles from Earth, as Maelstrom's augmenting, using the quantum bands to augment his natural control over kinetic energy. What for? Why? To stop the Earth's rotation, of course. Here goes.
That's exactly what he does.
And then that page where everyone starts senses it. Mr. Fantastic, Moondragon,
all the mystics,
Dr. Druid,
Dr. Druid, yes,
Origin,
the Rachel Summers Phoenix,
Doctor Strange, Moonglow, Black Crow,
who we talked about not too long ago
at Christmas time, yeah. Talisman, Shaman, even Spider-Man spider senses going. Whoa!
Yeah,
there must be a hell of a spider sense tingle. The Earth has just stopped moving. That's going to be a hell of a spider sense tingle.
That's something that I can't. Last episode we talked about how Grunwald really kind of grounded his stuff in the Marvel universe. I mean, we're seeing, characters from across the Marvel universe here, realizing that, hey, the Earth just stopped spinning. That's not cool.
Yeah. And it's a wide variety. It's telepaths, mystics. I mean, regular heroes like Spider-Man. Yeah. Great.
So Maelstrom once is saying, oh, how long do you think I can apply the brakes to Earth rotation before, the internal stresses cause massive tectonic plate upheavals? I think I hear the San Andreas fault starting to give some.
Yeah.
And Quasar blasts him, and he's like, ooh, give me more. You know how these quantum bands work, absorbing energy. And Quasar's thinking, what do I do if I give him cosmic awareness? He'll know what, he'll know how to do this on a cosmic, even more cosmic scale. He's like, but if I don't, I doom every man, woman, and child on Earth. The good of the few or the good of the many. Why must I be the one to decide? As he, quantum jumps out. And Maelstrom's like, impulsive youth. He's just signed the Earth death warrant.
Yeah, this part really surprised me here at the end here, where he says, where he said that he had cosmic awareness, and he just wanted to make certain that he was the only one who had it.
Petty. He's so petty, isn't he?
He has covered all the bases. This man has thought through every possible juncture of this plan.
Yes, we see he has cosmic awareness, then he kind of blasts Kid Reaper out of existence. And then as the Earth winds down like a mechanical toy, I take my leave of it forever. I have bigger things to attend to. And he meets back up with Death Urge, and then says, knowledge is absolute power. Stopping the Earth's rotation is but the merest prelude to my ultimate goal, to stop the kinetic motion of the universe itself. Reverse its direction and cause the cosmos to collapse upon itself. So yeah, kids, Cosmos Collision just isn't a fancy title.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's really what it means.
Yeah, and we get this great speech at the beginning. Is it by Uatu? Where he talks about the cosmos in collision.
Yeah. 24, yeah.
Yep.
Oh no, that's 25, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, not 24.
All right. Thoughts on this?
Yeah. What do you think, Justin? How is this?
Yeah, I mean, I love how the stakes keep getting higher and higher with every issue, and the Ghost Rider cameo, I mean, is kind of superfluous. It doesn't really need to be here. We can pretty much admit that, but Mark Grunwald used it really well and very effectively. And I loved that it gave us a chance to see Ghost Rider versus Death Urge. I thought, what a great pairing up that is. I think my favorite part was Moondragon's escape.
Yes.
How she clocked those two in the head with the wine bottles, and then had that great showdown with Truth. Yeah, exceptional stuff. Yeah, but the surprise at the end with Maelstrom saying, "Oh, I had cosmic awareness the whole time."
Yeah,
that was like, oh my word! Wow. Okay, so he's definitely covered all the bases here. All right. Yeah, it keeps surprising me with every issue. I love that.
I mean, it just. I was going to say, yeah, I've seen flimsier reasons for Ghost Riders show up in the '90s. So I mean,
absolutely,
Mark was doing good.
It totally makes sense. Yeah,
but like all these scenes, once again, I mean, we keep harping on it, but it's like just the whole art team. You know, Capullo, Williams, Chiang. I mean, this thing is beautiful.
Yeah,
it is.
Everybody really came together to make all of these issues really great. Definitely.
All right, should we get to the next one?
Yes,
let's
part
do
6.
it.
Where Maelstrom goes on his his universe tour here.
Yep.
His bragging spree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Doing a victory lap.
Exactly. Quasar 24, the penultimate. Take a drink, Lilith. All right. Cosmos in Collision, part 6 of 7. Maelstrom Manifest. July 1991. Same team. Quasar meets Infinity in the Quantum Zone while Doctor Strange leads a cadre of sorcerers in magically keeping the Earth from being destroyed. Maelstrom and Quasar plunge into the giant black hole Maelstrom created to collapse the universe. And once again, whoever wrote that synopsis didn't even mention all the cameos that everyone Maelstrom goes to meet.
That is true. He was lazy. Slacker.
But this cover, while great, it's like, look, Quasar's just like a little itty bitty part of that cover.
And he still doesn't have arms.
Yeah,
His hands at the end of his arms.
Yeah, if you weren't collecting this regularly, you wouldn't even know who that is.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, this one opens up again. This prologue we see when Maelstrom met the unbeing on Earth. You know, basically telling him,
he's reading an issue of Iron Man.
Yeah, I think it's like Armor Wars too. I'm like, yeah, these were actual issues. Yeah,
so good.
I love it's like, who are you? Are you the unbeing? Who are you? And he tells him he's Maelstrom and stuff. Cool. I'm always happy to meet a fellow master of the dark forces. This little kid. But yeah, he basically tells him, he's like, I want it. This wasn't even part. I guess this wasn't part of Maelstrom's plan. He's like, I just wanted to thank you for temporarily undoing Quasar so I could sneak on the Earth. And I love the kid saying, "What do you mean temporarily? What I do for keep. I create for keeps." Yeah. He's like, you don't think a guy as cosmically connected as Quasar is going to stay that way forever? And I love the kid's like, well, I'm still kind of new to this body, so. Anything I could do to help wreck the universe, let me know. The body of a 10-year-old boy is an unseemly form for a near omnipotent entity such as the unbeing. That's not my concern.
Then we get the whole his plan now. That last panel on the second page.
Oh yeah,
I will find a millionaire's mansion.
Yeah, there was a real Stromberg, and he just caused them to have a heart attack and took his place. Yeah,
he'll defeat my pawns. The presence and the Red Guardian. So yeah,
Yep,
nice.
So then page 3, we're back in the present, and he's basically telling Death Earth, basically, I have cosmic, and now the cosmic awareness is mine. I understand the infrastructure of the universe, how it relates to everything, blah, blah, blah. How to collapse it upon itself. Basically recapping for everybody. Astounding, sire, that a being born of such humble station could achieve so much. And then he's like, where's Eon's lackey? He's like, oh, you mean that's energy simulacrum that thinks it's Quasar? Nowhere in this universe.
I love that last thing. He goes, is there anything you wish for me to do? He goes, yeah, put that Watcher's eyes out.
Yes!
Oh, yes. Watcher? Yeah. Which he's very happy to do.
The one behind you.
Yeah, I love how the Watcher's just like, it's against my heritage to directly engage in any action. And he's like, but I beseech you to reconsider your actions. What is that?
I almost had you void-sucking voyeur.
Oh, yeah, because Death Earth showed those size at the Watcher's eyes, and then he pours out. Yeah. But then, like the synopsis did say, Doctor Strange is talking to Gaia about...
I love that page.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful splash page, yeah.
Tremendous artwork.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. And the colors, too. Good. Yeah. So good.
And we get the window. We get the Art Deco window that's in the background. It's great.
They basically contacts other mystics like Moonglow, Doctor Strange, Shaman, Talisman to help keep the Earth from exploding or falling apart.
Oh, and then a double page spread.
Oh yeah.
That
black hole. Yeah,
that's intense.
But as Will likes to point out, it's like, since the universe is ever expanding, the center of the universe isn't going to be the same spot all the time.
Right.
No matter what the Guardians of the Universe make you believe. How Will?
That's right. We talk about that a lot. 3600. Yeah. Okay.
So Maelstrom's just like, I picked this spot. This is going to be the new center of the universe.
Close enough, right here.
As I shrink it down to nothingness. Yeah.
Close enough.
But he's like, I still have personal matters that will, again, the gloating to attend to.
His victory lap.
Oh, but we get that page with Quasar in the quantum zone.
Yes.
And we finally get a feature in the quantum zone.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. He flies towards something big and red. Yes.
Yep. There's an eye there.
I greet you, son of Earth. But before we get that reveal, now we get to the bragging tour.
Oh, yeah. Another splash page. Galactus's world ship.
Yes.
Yep.
That's also a great image.
I swear, was that Capullo like trying to like maybe do like a Kirby style or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it looks like. But yeah, so Maelstrom, goes to Galactus Galactus, and he's like, he assumes a physical form of greater stature, so he comes in taller than Galactus. In the cosmic scheme of things, my position is more exalted than yours, he's telling Galactus. Due to your pre-Big Bang origin, you believe yourself to be unique among the beings of the universe. Yet, like the lowest of creatures, you depend upon outside sustenance. You are ruled by your enormous hunger. Galactus, but you are not hunger itself. I, on the other hand, embody a concept.
Galactus just looks at him like, I don't even know you.
I know. He's like,
he doesn't even go here.
Bitch, please. But back at the mansion, we see Ghost Rider still there, and Moondragon's talking to him and says, basically asks him to take Ken and Kayla away from this place. Because she says, these two are innocent. If you want to prevent blood from being spilled, get them out of here. She's like, or is that how you get off? Is it only after the innocent have been killed? And Ghost Rider just says, get on.
Get on.
And I love Ken and Kayla just looking at each other, and Moondragon's like, he can be trusted.
Yeah.
Have him take you to the office. But then Moondragon's just, mourning over Quasar.
And then one of my favorite pages right here. He gives Thanos the middle finger. This is awesome.
Oh, yes, because again, Thanos is starting the Infinity Gauntlet thing here, too.
Yes.
So, So he flies up as Mephisto is, talking to Thanos, and he's, I am Maelstrom, the one being in all the universe who does not fear you and your Infinity Gems. You fancy yourself God, don't you? But don't you realize how parochial the very concept of God has become? Giving him the whole, strive for godhood, kid. There is no God.
No, perhaps
does not take very well.
No, the best is when Thanos blasts him and says, "Insolent spec, God is everything, and I am God." Wait, hold on. Insolent spec, God is everything, and
I am God.
And then it's just Maelstrom standing in that crater going, in that case, Thanos, you just met an atheist. And blinks out. I love Thanos. Who was that man? And Mephisto's like, Mephisto's basically like, surely you destroyed him. And he's like, did I? He's like, I thought I saw something standing in that crater for a moment. No, sire, I believe it was only the cosmic wind.
Nice.
Of course.
Then we get another splash page. Yes,
the quantum zone. Yes, the face of infinity. Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Oh, so basically, what we're saying is, Quasar has gone to infinity, and will go beyond.
And
That's
beyond.
Right.
But yes, you are infinity, the personification of the spatial aspect of the universe. Yes, my son. But he's like, yeah, you're aware of everything that's happening? Yes. But it's her who, yes, Infinity has plucked that has fashioned him this energy body.
I love that last panel. He quantum jumps and the symbol is in her eye.
Yeah.
Yes. So cool.
Thank you, man, for the chance to redeem myself. We'll try not to let you down. And then Maelstrom goes to brag to the Celestial.
Yes.
Yeah. Erisham, the Prime Celestial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about giving the finger.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why are you bragging to Celestial? You know he's not going to talk back to you.
Yeah. You're not going to have a conversation with these guys.
Basically saying everything he does is obsolete. The harvesting of organic life throughout the universe. And then as he's in the middle of his little rant here, he's like, wait, no, he's back. I must go, as he ports out.
Mm-hmm.
And then another splash page of Quasar basically just shooting matter back into that black hole. So he's trying to reverse the collapse. If it's eating Infinity's body like a cancer, my body is a manifestation of Infinity's, then I'd be nuts to think I can... Yeah, he's like, I really can't zip in and out of that black hole, so... If only my cosmic awareness extended past the event horizon. But if it doesn't, so once more I have to throw myself into the breach. Why is it I keep finding bigger breaches to throw myself into?
Exactly.
You got to get used to it. You're the protector of the universe.
And then Maelstrom shows up and says, "How is this possible? How can you be here possessed of such power? You have cosmic awareness, Mealy. If you want to know, use it."
Yeah.
He goes like, "Infinity, bah! You have your benefactor, I have mine." Quasar basically telling me, yeah, it's always easier to destroy than to maintain or create. Maelstrom tackles him basically into that black hole.
What is that? That's the edge of the. Okay, cool. I was like, that's not text, is it? In that last slice on the next to last slice on the page.
Just that black.
Yeah, well, above the black, I was like, is that text? But it's just the sparkly stuff that's around the event horizon of the black hole.
Yeah, but yeah, basically they go into the black hole and Maelstrom gets crushed in there.
Mm-hmm.
Quasar used his power to accelerate so yeah, that's how he crushed Maelstrom. But he's like, yeah, now everything's happening quicker. The universe is collapsing faster. Maelstrom's dead, but he's taking the whole universe with him.
Uh-oh.
I love that next issue box. The end of the end.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
All right, so what did you think, Justin?
I loved it. Yeah, more great cosmic stuff. And I love the reveal of Infinity. I think this was the first time that we've ever seen Infinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was...
I think we saw the hand of Infinity was in an issue of Thor, like 185. I think when because we're in the prologues, the first prologue, I think.
They do mention a Thor issue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think this just the hand, but I think this is the first time that Infinity actually appears,
like a full.
Yeah.
For me, that was my favorite part of this issue. I thought it was a great reveal. It kind of gave Quasar a little bit of, I don't know, it kind of gave him a boost because it's like, okay, I've got somebody in my corner now, like where Eon's dead and like I'm kind of dead and like now he's got somebody that can like actually provide him with some tangible assistance here.
Yeah, he was kind of like equal footing with Maelstrom now because they both have cosmic awareness. Now they're both backed by like these abstract entities and stuff. Yeah,
right.
One of the big four.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I really liked that. It kind of put Quasar on an equal footing with Maelstrom for the first time since this story began.
Oh yeah. And I love how the issue was just Maelstrom like bragging, he's like,
yeah.
Galactus, the Celestial status. They're just like, oh, look, he must be new money,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there goes the neighborhood. Here comes Maelstrom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to wrap this up?
Yes.
You bet.
All right, Quasar number 25, Cosmos and Collision, part 7 of 7, All or Nothing. Cover date August 1991. We've got the same team here. And again, this is a larger issue, so it's $1.50.
That's right.
Still not bad
Mm-mm.
for the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, especially what we get. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Quasar as Infinity's avatar and Maelstrom as Oblivion's avatar battle in Oblivion's realm. Quasar tricks Maelstrom and saves the universe. Well, we'll get to that part. New terms are struck between the cosmic powers. Quasar, in a new costume, and Makari are returned to life.
Yep.
All right. What more do you want? That's all that guy wrote.
Slacker. He's such a slacker. You should send him a strongly worded letter.
It's me, your biggest fan.
Yeah. The first 3 pages of this issue are freaking awesome.
Whoa, yeah. I mean, the first page is a splash of a Watcher, and then the
Watcher.
two-page splash, the next part, yeah, with
Yep.
all those Watchers around the black
good.
hole, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, even the Watchers are like, even if we wanted to take action, there's nothing we could do.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I like how more of them keep, showing up, and then behind them, boom, here comes the prime celestial host. They're like, okay, we want a front row seat to this.
Yes.
I love that. That last panel where they're like, oh, there's other nigh powerful beings who may be able to do something, and then it's like, speaking of, the Celestials are here,
The Celestials are here. Yeah.
and they all come out, and they're all just standing there doing nothing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it says, if the most powerful faction of the enigmatic celestials are powerless to stop the end of existence, woe unto us.
Mm. Yep.
So yeah, then we go back into that little kind of on the far side of the vortex. It says, yeah, Quasar's just like, yeah, Maelstrom's dead, but the black hole's still compressing everything, and the universe is collapsing faster than ever thanks to the boost I gave it. The mighty Quasar, protector of the universe. Ha! Agent of destruction is more my speed. And again, how many issues did it take him? Now he's like, wait a minute, this is an energy body. I could have hands.
Hands?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was like, why did he think of that a couple issues ago?
And
He's grinning like, I figured this out.
And I love he's an energy being, but he's still throwing that mask on.
Yes.
Yep.
Totally.
So yeah, he just converts a fraction of 1% of his energy to matter, and the black hole basically just pulls him in. Time to suck the void. But yeah, see, even taking all his power just to keep, even still the black hole wants to like compress him. So he's like, let go of this. So what? So he thinks if he lets go, he might be able to reverse stuff. So he's like, once again, pray the crunch of the nigh energy infinity down will provide the impetus to restart universal expansion. This really is it this time. Goodbye, Mom, Dad.
Yeah.
Consciousness. Then back at the mansion, yes, all the weird sisters are awake now. So,
Yep.
and then
This is going to be a definite
And
challenge for Moondragon.
And she's like, we're all back now. She's like, good, it saves me the trouble of looking for you. She's going to kick her butts.
as she's taking that dress off, getting down to that bathing suit, she's
Yeah.
like, now it's getting real. And again, Truth is dampening her psionic power, so yeah, it's down to her martial artistry to.
Yeah, I like that they provide her with a nice challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Because if she did have even a fraction of her telepathic powers, she could have easily taken them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but he manages to take out the weird sisters, but then we see someone walk in and say, Moondragon. Who?
Yep.
Then meanwhile, Doctor Strange and the Mystics are still trying to keep the Earth from falling apart, and then Death Urge comes in to try to break the spell.
Oh, yeah, which is awesome.
Yes.
But then he gets grabbed by the Wizard.
The Wizard! The most unfortunately named superhero.
Well, especially when you're wearing a yellow suit. I love how he just grabs Death Urge and like crashes through that Art Deco.
Hurls him
window.
out the window.
Yep.
He's like, they said to get him away from Strange as quick as possible. He's just...
Out the window it is.
Yeah, but then Death Urge takes off with Wizard still hanging on. And then Hyperion and Dr. Spectrum show up. I love Hyperion. If there's any fight left in him, I'll see the beating it out.
Yeah.
But then back at the black hole, we see the Watchers are still there. Now Galactus and Nova have showed up. The Rigelians, the Elans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot about the Elan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yet no one takes action. No one ventures forth into the void. No one assails the unknown. Perhaps if one stares into the abyss too long, the abyss begins to stare at you.
Yeah.
But then
a little
we
Nietzsche
see...
for your night.
Oh, but then Quasar's like, again? I can't believe it. I've survived again? How many times does that make? But then he sees Oblivion because he's in the realm of Oblivion. Earth spec. But then we see, Maelstrom is there. The universe is collapsing. You almost reversed the process had we not pulled you through the center of the hole just in time. He's like, what? Like Obi rescued you? He says, not quite. I totally perished. Oblivion recreated me here. I'm his avatar, you see. But you, my enemy, are now trapped here.
I'm not through taunting you, boy. That's so Maelstrom.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I wouldn't want you to
so
be
nasty.
bored whiling away forever here, so I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to thrash the Infinity Force out of you as he grows huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Oblivion and I have become really close. But then we see Infinity come popping out of Quasar's mouth.
Yes.
Infinity, yes, aspect of me. So she says, join me, like Oblivion joined Maelstrom joined Oblivion. So that's a great page to hit when Quasar's growing. Yeah.
I love that part.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
All right. Okay, Mal, let's do it. We kind of get a recreation of the cover. Because
Great duel here.
Yes, because that's what he says. He says, Infinity and Oblivion are too abstract to contend with one another in anything remotely resembling a physical manner. My actions and Maelstroms are being transmogrified to their level. They are simply mirroring our struggle on the highest plane of reality conceivable. Were we in the physical universe, they would be hurling galaxies at each other. And then, back at the mansion, the swimsuit contest has begun because Cersei is also here.
Cersei has shown up.
And again, it's like this. It's the green costume era. Some artists have it, where it's like just like a one-piece bathing suit. The other artist, as Coppola did here, just slit open the front of that thing.
Yeah. Let's show as much skin as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because Moondragon's like, oh, you're that Eternal. Yes, Cersei. She says, I was sent by the Avengers to see why Quasar did not answer his emergency signal. And again, the editor's note. Sorry. As we did on the Quantum Zone. Editor's note. Captain America tried to summon him in issue 388.
Yes.
Again, superior stratagem. I could tell you why. He's dead. What?
Yeah, he's dead.
She goes, see for yourself. He's in the other room. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must look for a different corpse.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just in shock. But then, they get Quasar and Makari's bodies. But that's when Maelstrom's other lackeys show up. Helio, Gronk, Phobius. Yeah.
Phoebe. Yep.
Yeah.
They don't fare so well, though.
Yeah, Cersei turns them into a rat, a pig, and then what is that, a goose?
Yeah.
I love this because as Cersei's character progressed, you don't see her do this quite as often.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
When she's in the Avengers, you don't really see her do this very much. So it was nice to see that again. I was like, oh yeah, I remember when Cersei used to do this all the time.
And Moondragon is just grinning there. You're like, I'm beginning to like you, Cersei.
I like what you did there.
Okay, here it is, because Cersei says, were these the ones who did this to Quasar and Makari? And she says, no, it was Maelstrom and Cersei. Maelstrom, he attacked the Eternals once, which again, they mentioned was Avengers 247 and 248.
Yes.
There we go, yep.
Reference to the Unimind.
On that Tuesday. And then back in Greenwich Village, we see the Squadron Supreme kind of has Death Urge locked up.
As best they can.
Yeah, Dr. Spectrum has those huge boots on him. And then Spectrum says, let me make sure this guy doesn't have any buddies. And he goes up and it's like, oh man, Doctor Strange isn't looking good.
Yeah.
And the window's already repaired too.
Oh yeah. Man.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Can't lift those drafts in.
Yeah. But Gaia says, just a few more minutes, Mage of Mages, and you'll be able to let go. I sense the fate of all life is even now being decided.
That it is. There's
yes.
a powerful duel taking place.
Yep. And it is not beat with power, it's beat with your brain. And I love it so much.
Yes. Because even Maelstrom saying they're too evenly matched and everything. I have you at a standstill. And then, Quasar's like, wait, man, what's good cosmic awareness unless you show me something that he has overlooked? And then he's like, wait, that's it. I love this page. Pay attention, Mally, baby. I have something to show you, eh? It's like, did you see it? Did you see my other attire? It's like, what? He's like, I'll show it to you again. Do you recognize it? Of course not. Because a little old lady by the name of Origin changed it retroactively through time on what seemed to be a whim. It wasn't. It was her way of making me a temporal anomaly, a walking pocket of reality inversion. Yes. Going back to the beginning of the last episode, kids. Yes.
Yes.
I love Maelstrom's like, no, he's like, I'm the only anomaly I have to be. Quasar, you consider yourself an anomaly, Maelstrom? Ha! Compared to me, you're commonplace. An aspect of my personal reality lies beyond our deadlock and sends ripples across the time stream. Use your cosmic awareness and you'll know I'm right. I love Maelstrom. No, so close. He's like, what a universe to be tricked by such a small concept.
And he wanted to replace Oblivion with himself. Yeah.
And I love the fact that reduced his power enough and broke his concentration enough that the bands finally said, buddy, you are not worthy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, cause just like in issue 1, if you don't keep a lock on them bands, man, you'll disintegrate.
Yeah. Yep. That's just what happens.
What was his name? William Wesley? Or
Yep. Who's very much a Hal Jordan test pilot.
Yeah. Totally.
And Marvel Boy from those 2 Fantastic Four issues. With his Maelstrom base with defeat and death, yes, it's reversed the flow, and as the Watchers see, yes, this black hole starts shooting matter out, but then back, Infinity and Oblivion have to have a little powwow here with death and eternity. I love Quasar. It's just like, wow, even with cosmic awareness, I can't begin to decipher a syllable of what they're saying to each other. So he goes back he quantum jumps back to Earth, and then Maelstrom still has, what Maelstrom did, the Earth's still locked up until Quasar disrupts the rings, and he takes the quantum bands, and that, because that was helping hold that together, and then Earth moving again. He was all giant in the other realm. He's like, time to reduce myself to human proportions. See what's become of my physical body. So, grab the quantum bands, flies back to Earth. Gets back in his body. And it's like, he's like, still handless. He's like, wait, Maelstrom dropped them in the Eonverse.
Yeah. Fetch.
Yes. And then we get that panel of him in his new costume. My favorite costume. That costume,
Yeah, the best costume. That is an awesome page. I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Even with the mullet.
Yeah.
And he's like, for the first time, it's a costume I made and not Eon or Origin.
It's so sleek and sci-fi. I mean, I think it still looks great for today.
I do too. Yeah, it still looks good.
It's simple. It's great. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a typical '90s costume. Yeah, it doesn't look like a typical '90s costume, or or even an '80s costume with '90s flourishes.
So, and then he hears from Moondragon and Cersei are like, "Wait, what?" But he hears from Infinity. She says, yes, they come up with a new truce. Oblivion and death keep Eon and Maelstrom. Eternity, and I get you and your friend Makari. So he gives her back the power she lent him. And then, Moondragon and Cersei wouldn't know what happened. And then Makari wakes up.
And she said, Infinity says something to him that nobody has capitalized on since. She says, "Welcome back to life, my once and future avatar."
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Boy, if only they would give some up-and-coming writer a Quasar book to deal with that plot. Perhaps
that could be.
Perhaps some rising star, some rising Kickstarter star, perhaps. All right, then that last page, yes, the guy telling, Doctor Strange everything's fine. He's like, "What happened? Who restored Earth's rotation?" She says, "Perhaps my most wondrous son of all, the man called Quasar."
Mm-hmm.
And
then we get a black and white. That's number 14. This is 15.
Yeah.
15? Okay. Yeah. Very cool.
Concerning the mystery. Yeah. I love the last panel was just Kronos, just like, "I did it. I glimpsed her."
Yeah.
I saw infinity.
Coming back full circle to Kronos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was very nice. Now, in the trade, they actually have Fred Hembeck. Doing a couple of things here.
Okay.
Were kind of interesting. From Marvel Age 102.
Marvel Age, yeah. He did a lot of those Marvel Age things.
And then the Quasar Name That Character contest was announced in issue 14's letter page, and the results were revealed in issue 20. So this is from that letter page. This is all the characters.
Oh, my word.
On the Stranger's World here.
Wow.
Let's see.
I love that was an actual contest.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
So
I guess it was in the future. I was going to say they didn't put in Quasar's appearance with Beavis and Butthead.
No, they did not. Yes, that was.
Maybe that'll be in the Epic collection.
Oh, nice. All right,
Justin.
Yes, now it's all laid out. What did you think?
Yeah, this was. I was not expecting. Again, another surprise at the twist at the end with how Quasar beat Maelstrom. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting that twist at all. That was great. Yeah, and I loved the part where they're basically dueling for the fate of the universe with the spectators of amazing, omnipotent power watching them, but also feeling a sense of powerlessness. They can't do anything to affect the outcome of this, so they're just kind of impotently watching it all. I thought that was interesting too. You've got these beings of unimaginable power that are just kind of stuck there at the edge of this black hole, just watching and waiting for the outcome of this. That was cool.
The only thing that could have made that scene better is if they would have had a panel of Adam Warlock standing there saying, "I don't know what to do. I'm hopeless."
Bravo, Phil.
It's the only thing that would have made that better.
Yeah, for once, I can't fix everything.
Exactly. For once, I don't have all the answers.
Yes. Yeah. I loved it. Yeah, my only complaint is I wish that his other costume had stuck around a little bit longer because I didn't like it. And I thought, well, maybe that could have been like the costume that he gets in this issue, that could have been like his outer space costume. And then when he's hanging out on Earth with the Avengers, then he can wear the more superhero looking costume.
Was it?
It's funny you say that, because in Infinity Gauntlet he's shown wearing the older costume.
Yes.
Okay.
And he actually, I think in
Grunwald did. Did that in 28 to cover that continuity error, because he's gonna go out as Quasar and he changes, and it's that costume with the mask. And Makari's like, "Wait a minute!" And he's like, "Oh, I still had that in one of the quantum gems. I guess I better take that out of there.
I need to take that out of storage." Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
And so you guys, correct me if I'm wrong here, and
I will.
It's a day that ends in Y, so there's that. I really kind of feel like Jeremy Adams is something of a spiritual successor to Mark Grunwald.
Oh, I can see that. I mean, he does. I mean, I know on the DC side, he is a big fan.
That concern for the continuity to make sure everything fits together. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I mean, you could tell that when he was on Flash. Now he's on Green Lantern. Yeah, Yeah.
Mhm.
He even told us. I mean, we talked to him. Yeah, he's like, I am a continuity nerd. I'm all worried about that.
Very
I know,
cool.
Will. I know. Friend of the show, Jeremy Adams.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Getting as bad as Lilith.
Very nice.
Jesus.
I didn't say anything.
I know. Not this time. I know.
So any other thoughts on this? I mean, again, I think that this is bar none the best Marvel cosmic end of sentence. It is. It's just because it uses so much of the Marvel universe in an interesting way to help tell this, really, really personal story, and an emotional story, but that has vaster implications to the entire Marvel universe.
And even if it's not someone's favorite, it's up there. I mean, it's got to be on a list. Yeah, top 5, top.
Yeah, I can see why you guys like this so much. And Wendell really goes on such a journey throughout the course of this. He has to deal with his dad's death. He has to deal with the death of Eon. He has to kill Eon himself. He goes through all of this. He gets tortured to death. All this stuff happens to him. And then he has this amazing, resounding, triumphant victory at the end where he merges with infinity. Gains cosmic awareness. It's an amazing journey from 8 issues, the amount of highs and lows that he experiences. It's fantastic stuff, and just the fact too that really Maelstrom could have returned at any moment after that, because they talked about at the end that they made that deal. Makari and Quasar get to return. Well, so does Maelstrom. Well. If I was Quasar, I'd be like, well...
No. Death and Oblivion kept
Oblivion.
Maelstrom.
Oblivion kept Maelstrom. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Oblivion kept Maelstrom. Okay. Okay.
Was it Oblivion or Death? Because I know they said...
Death, I think Death, yeah.
It was
those two are on that side.
It was basically...
Okay.
Death's going to keep Eon and Maelstrom, and then, you guys get to come back to life.
Because I thought if I were Quasar, I'd be gearing up for round 2 with Maelstrom if I knew that he was still back out there in the universe somewhere.
we do see Maelstrom again when it's number 29, Wandering the Worlds of What If.
Oh, yeah, an alternate universe.
Great issue.
Oh, yeah. Because the Watcher sends him on a mission, and he's going from alternate reality, ultimate reality. Yeah, and there's one where, Maelstrom wins, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and there's this great scene at the end of it where Maelstrom, he's fighting Korvac. Is he fighting Korvac? No, who's he fighting? He's fighting Thanos, and the Earth gets nuked. And Quasar's like, what the,
He's like, oh crap, this is a reality where Maelstrom won.
Yeah.
And him and Thanos are basically just duking it out over the scraps of what's left. Yeah.
Yeah, and Maelstrom basically, I thought I killed you, Spec, and then, basically.
And Maelstrom's huge. Maelstrom's huge because you see Quasar flying away. All you see is like Maelstrom's eyes. Like, I thought I killed you, Spec.
Oh.
And that's that energy because Wendell's trying to quantum jump the hell out of there.
You know what? Yeah, Justin, you need to read those because it's a 2-parter. The first one, he's wandering alternate realities. Then he gets blasted as he's quantum jumping, and then the next issue, he wakes up in the new universe.
Yes, I read about that. Yeah, where he meets Starbrand and all those people.
Yep.
And DP7. Yep.
Yeah, which are also Mark Grunwald creations.
And he actually has to get the Starbrand to get home because it's like without the quantum zone, the quantum bands are losing power.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I'm in a universe with no quantum zone. These things are losing power.
Okay. So that's that story. I want to read that. Yeah.
The art, so 26 is a fill-in, 27 is a fill-in. I think
they're both Infinity Gauntlet crossovers, but
Dave Hoover, who's unfortunately no longer with us, but he's the artist on those two. Mm-hmm. But great then stuff. 28
and 29 are the her when her shows up.
Yeah, and but Capullo's on until like up through 34, and you get the new universe crossover, you get the Wandering the Worlds of What If, you get the her storyline, you get Operation Galactic Storm. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so much good stuff there. Then I think he takes an issue or 2 off, and then we get him for another couple of issues.
Infinity War,
and then we get Steve Lytle for an issue and a half, who is unfortunately no longer with us as well.
Steve Lytle did some of those too. I bet those were great.
gorgeous work. I mean, this I think is the pinnacle of the story and the art coming together, in these 8 issues.
Mm-hmm.
But Quasar 26 up to about 40 is just a whole lot of fun. I mean, it's great art, great story, but this is, and I've told Phil, I've told you this probably so many times you hate it, but 13 through 25 are awesome. That's really where everything gets
starting with
into
Journey
gear.
and the Mystery to the end of Cosmos and Collision.
Yep, this is such a great series.
I hope that they do reissue this in the form of an epic collection.
Mm-hmm.
This whole series. I think that more people need to read it and see, like all the stuff that we talked about. Mark Gruenwald's tendency to tie everything together in the Marvel universe to make it feel like it was close knit. That's really on full display throughout this whole series.
Yep, absolutely.
And again, at least these first 25, you could tell he's planning it from issue 1. It's down to the dialogue of Death Urge. You're going to beg me to kill you, and I'm going to say no.
In the second issue, yeah. 2 years later,
Well, and the series started out, I think, really kind of cool because it didn't start out in the present. It started out here's how he got the bands.
Issue 1,
Project Pegasus and all that stuff.
Yeah. All that stuff has yet to happen. So it starts out, here's how he gets the bands, and at the end of that, it's hey, I'm going to be Quasar basically, or Marvel Man, whatever. Work with Steel.
Yeah.
And then everything, every appearance that he has happens between issue 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And issue 2 says, hey, the reason you haven't seen him is because he's in hibernation and he's flying to where, Phil?
Uranus.
Exactly.
An important mission.
Exactly.
Because his mind hadn't been opened up to fully to his quantum bands yet. So, he had to go into hibernation and fly there. It took him, how many years? Yeah.
Yeah, it was years that he was in, which is really...
And again, Gruenwald using that to be like, this is why you haven't seen him in anything.
That's smart. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and, every time, Ben Grimm or Wolverine or anybody's talking to him, they're like, hey, kid. And I'm like, I'm like, what? He's been around a long time. But then I got to thinking, there's actually an essay I wrote that you can find on the Quantum Zone, or some guy wrote on the Quantum Zone, some nerd. Because he wasn't aging, he probably only looks like he's 25.
Oh, yeah. There was no gravity. There was no gravity holding him down for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the quantum bands have some type of property that de-age or at least slow down the aging process of their user.
They can affect your metabolism, and that's something that Gruenwald says. There's a document that he had that you could write in for. I think in 2030, one of those issues, you could say, hey, you can write in, and I'll send you a copy of everything there is to know about Quasar's quantum bands. And this was part of his pitch for it. I've actually scanned it in. It's on the Quantum Zone out there if you want to read it. And it's really interesting because Marvel Boy, although we find out it wasn't Marvel Boy, it was the evil Uranian clone of Marvel Boy.
Mm-hmm.
When he came back as the Crusader, he was super strong, and the bands can do that. And Wendell hasn't figured that out yet. Still, to this day, he hasn't figured that out, at least to my knowledge, which I think is really kind of cool because there's more things to explore.
Mm-hmm. And maybe each user who has used the quantum bands has explored a different option of what powers they can bestow.
Yeah, it's we need more Quasar. We need more.
Yes, we do.
Marvel, give this man the book.
Yes,
so I can tell him what to write.
Yeah,
that works for me.
I forget what book we were talking about. Me and Lilith are like, just put your name on it. We'll write it. We'll just need you for name.
Well, we talk a lot about stuff that has not been reprinted. And Quasar he's gotten two trades.
But they only go to 25. Yeah, I don't think they've reprinted the second half. Anything past 25.
Not at all.
Yeah,
and everything's getting reprinted. I mean, I never thought I would see a Romnibus. Okay.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah, me too.
We got a Romnibus,
multiple volumes. I know.
And we're getting 2 more. Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean, can we not get a Quasar omnibus or Quasar
Yeah.
hardcovers? Because this stuff, it's really, really good. I mean, Phil and I have talked to J.M. DeMatteis, not to name drop, but yeah, totally dropping a name. They haven't reprinted. DC has not reprinted so much of his work, and neither has Marvel. I mean, there's a lot of
Spider-Man, his Spider-Man stuff. How do you not reprint Spider-Man stuff?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
They're starting to slowly catch up with the Epic collections, and now DC has announced their own kind of line of the Epic collections. What is it, DC's Finest or whatever. So hopefully they'll start getting around to it more.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so. Covering some more of these lesser known titles, I think, is a smart idea, because people like us that, like a little bit of other flavors beyond the typical stuff, like Avengers, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. Might need a little bit more cosmic stuff thrown in there. If you look at the line of Epic collections, there's not really a lot of it. There's some Silver Surfer stuff. There's some Fantastic Four stuff. But as far as Cosmic Adventures goes, that's still kind of like...
It seems to me, for some reason, the 90s are like the decade that they kind of overlook a lot when they're reprinting stuff. Like, they'll reprint the older stuff, they'll reprint stuff out of there, but it seems like the 90s is the biggest casualty of that.
I think you're right. It seems that way.
And it just seems like, that's stuff that's still, talked about today. I mean, the crossing line for the Avengers. Okay. It's not necessarily awesome, but we remember it and we talk about it, maybe not in the best terms, but, or the crossing, there's the giant, of the crossing. Yeah, I know.
We covered it. We covered it for last April Fool's, when the joke was on us.
Yeah.
It was a month of pain, it was.
A month of pain. But I would love to see this as a hardcover, multiple hardcovers, an omnibus, collect all that. Quasar did not have a lot of appearances before his series started. Collect those too. I mean, there's I think I reprinted because in the first issue, Grunwald said, "Hey, if you've never read Quasar, well, here's his complete list of appearances up to this point," and it's like,
it's like 12 issues.
It's like 12 appearances. Yeah.
There was that Dazzler issue. There was the
Captain America.
Couple Captain America. There was a Marvel Team Up Annual, I think. It is very few and far between. Up to that point.
All right, we have gone long, but it's worth it. But let's get out of here. We started this on a Saturday night. It's now Sunday morning.
Burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, no, I enjoy the story. I enjoy talking to you gentlemen about it.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah.
All right, yes, kids, next time, like we said, we'll cover, Justin and I will cover Captain America 348 through 350, and then Thor 406 through 408, and Iron Man 281 through 284. So send your thoughts in on that. Send your thoughts on Cosmos and Collision.
Yes, any Quasar stuff.
Yes. And your thoughts on Mr. Will Allred. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
That Todd McFarlane
we need more
cover.
Quasar collections.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes, exactly. And write the Marvel. Tell me we need more Quasar.
Yes. Demand it.
Exactly. All right. So send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, Rain ran the money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
And, of course, the Patreon, where, again, you get access to all of our uncensored content. A whole year of worst superhero movie brackets, which Will joined us for at least 1 month and was like, nah, that's cool, kid.
That was a lot of pain.
And
man.
again, keep Charlie Esser's memory alive and watch his topless videos on Patreon. I remember that. We were like, oh, someone gets topless. And, everyone's hoping for, like, Lilith. But no, it's Charlie. No. All right. So find it all at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
Oh, that's naughty.
All right. Mr. Will Allred, thank you for joining us for these 2 episodes.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks for having me. Thank you very much for having me.
Again, master of the Quantum Zone, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of podcasting, and several successful Kickstarter campaigns. Where can people find your books?
Well, you can find me at Wallred, that's at WALLRED, at Gmail and Facebook and Blue Sky and Twitter and Instagram and probably other places that I don't even remember at this point. But if you'd like to check out the books that I write, Crossover Division, like Phil said, we just successfully kickstarted the 5th issue of the series. Should be going to print shortly, and looking forward to getting that in everybody's hands. If you want to, you can check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. There's a 4-issue collection of that if you want to take a look at that. And then I hang out with some guy. We talk Green Lantern every week on Sector 2814. He's a pretty cool dude. I think his name's Phil. Maybe that's what it is.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
I'll put it in my navel.
There you
Seems
go.
like I'm getting a package every other day.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
That's the one.
Thank you, DeFalco. All right, now the king of podcasting, Mr. Justin the Owl. You can hear him here every week, either on Marvel Tales or X-Men Classics, twice a week, and everything else on Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks, twice a month on Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast. Once a
Greatest name for a podcast ever.
Why, thank you.
I agree.
Who came up with that? I did. Again, you can hear him at the end of every month on We Are the Night, the
Batman podcast.
The Ray's favorite show. Yes, talking about Azrael. And, of course, once a month also on Energon Universe, where we talk with Russell, all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe content coming out of Image Comics. But again, the man is a machine. That is not all he does. So what other podcasts do you do, sir?
You can also find me and Russell over at Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where every month we talk about the Incredible Hulk and the sensational She-Hulk. And also every month on Predator and Prey, the Yocha podcast, where we're joined by none other than Ray himself, the High Priest of Khonshu, who also has a fantastic gaming channel, so go check that out if you haven't already. And Russell and I also do Gone the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast, where we talk about DC's classic Demon series from the 70s. And my solo project, the Lost Library of Legends, is still chugging along. And this month's spotlight is about a forgotten series from Marvel from 1994 called Black Wolf.
Going back to the 90s here, bitch. I'm going to eat this up with a fork and spoon.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. I know we did.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very fun.
Again, you want more Will Allred. Again, Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. And again, quantumzone.org.
Yes. The definitive Quasar resource.
Demand to be updated.
It's on my list. It's on my list.
Demand this busy man do more work. All right, kids. The universe is saved.
For now.
Yes. All right. Thank you for joining us. Come back next time for more Marvel Tales. And remember, a good wardrobe can solve any problem. Good night.